Hey, what's up, you guys? My name is Bryhanna Nad'e, and I'm here at the studio about to interview Campain, and we're going to be talking about him being an R&B artist and his feelings because he loves to talk about that on his Instagram and plenty more stuff. So stay tuned. Watch me work. Watch me work.
Top me off. Tell me off.
Start because this nigga's going crazy. So I am Bryhanna Nad'e, and I'm here with
Campain, Mr. Meet Your Parents, aka Miss R&B Singer.
Okay.
That was a lot, right?
Yeah, that was. I wasn't prepared for that. All right, so we're supposed to be at the beach today, but because of the ugly ass air quality, we're gonna be inside where it's safe.
Yes.
But we still got our vegan cookies.
Yes.
And our Henny.
Yes.
So
big time.
We're gonna start this off.
I think Henny's vegan. Is Henny vegan?
It is.
There you go.
Yeah, it's
there
organic.
Go.
Okay.
There we go.
Cheers.
Boom.
All right.
All right. We're not taking the whole thing, are we?
No.
Mm-hmm. I'm like, all right.
I'm trying to sip this.
Trying to get to the end of this interview, all right? So you know I'll be asleep.
Bruh.
All right.
All right.
2K and Hennessy. That's how you end every weekend night. You don't get in trouble. You have a good time. That's for all the fellas out there.
Hey, my type of night is Hennessy in The Office.
Oh yes, definitely.
You watch The Office?
I do. It's hilarious.
Thank you.
Like it's almost like too funny. See, it's like I watch The Office and I'm like, it makes me feel less funny as a person. Cause it's like so funny. I'm like, man, I never would have thought of that joke. Like it's hilarious.
Thank you. Cause every time someone be like, I really don't understand it. What do you mean?
It's hilarious.
These are white people. So think of white people at your job, and that's them.
Yeah, and but they're even funnier because like they're nicer.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just hilarious.
Okay.
It's hilarious.
Thank you. You know what?
Yes. There it is.
Thank you. I like you even more now.
Shoulders.
We like
shoulders. There we go.
Shimmy. All right.
There we go.
That's
We're doing that all night.
Right now.
We're doing that all night.
All right. Okay, so just give us a background on yourself, where you're from, how old are you, and all that.
I never tell anybody how old I am, man. But
shut the hell up.
I'm telling you, it's never right to ask an R&B singer his age. How old is Trey Songz?
Probably like 40.
Nah, probably because you don't know, man. Some days he looks 25.
But I can Google it.
Yeah, you can. But
just like in Google.
You can't Google mine.
Not
yet. Boom, boom. All right, so background on me. Originally from Sacramento, South Sacramento, not just Sacramento, but South Sacramento. Mm-hmm. And most of my family's from the Bay Area. Mm-hmm. My parents just so happened to move to Sac for a while, which is where I was raised. When I turned 18, moved back to the Bay, or officially out to the Bay, because when my parents separated, my mom moved back out here. My dad stayed in Sac, so I would actually spend the week in Sacramento and the weekends in the Bay Area. And then when I went to college, I moved back out here officially, and I've been out here ever since. And just, music started for me as something to do other than basketball, because I played basketball in college, and which a lot of people don't realize. Yes, if you know me, I'm short, but I played basketball in college because I got heart. Shout out to Allen Iverson.
Hey, short people are quick.
I mean, we are. That's, and you got to be, otherwise you're not going to be out there.
Example.
Chris Paul, exactly. Even though Chris Paul is like 7 inches taller than me, but
it's okay though.
But you know what I'm saying? For my part of life, I'm good. Yeah. But it just had to be something that I did other than basketball, right? Mm-hmm. So basketball was everything. And then one day I was at my friend's house and he was like, I have a studio, and it really wasn't a studio. It was really his guest room, right?
It just so happened to have.
A little mic in the closet and a laptop. You know what I'm saying? So we made a song, and the first time I heard myself through the speakers was just like, that was like a constructive rush of joy. You know what I'm saying? Like, so once that happened, I was hooked, and singing started for me though in high school when some ghetto girls was like, I heard you could sing. And I was just like, I guess. And I was like, sing something then. And then I just started singing, and that's how, But I never sang like for anything other than like that type of attention. I never wrote songs. But I loved music and songs and the emotion from music. So, started building and not just making music, but making a career. The music business is a whole different beast outside of just making music.
Right.
And a lot of people get discouraged from making music because the music business is ugly. It's not fun, it's not creative, it's not happy, it's not composed of people that make music, it's composed of people that make money. So, but I've made my peace with it. I'm building my career. I'm always trying to figure out what I want from music, right? When I first started making music, I was 20 and all I wanted was just like girls. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, now I want way more than that. Yeah. So the career is a real thing now.
So how old are you?
I'm old enough. I'm old enough to know better.
Bruh,
and
I'm 25.
young enough to
I
not
said my
care.
age. I'm 25.
I mean, that's because you still got, you know, milk on your breath. You still out here popping and doing your thing.
Say your damn age.
I'm not telling you. I'll tell you.
Wow. You know what? I'll just find somebody.
I'm an enigma.
And they can tell me your age. How about that? All right,
I'm an enigma. I can't.
Or how about when you post your next birthday post, you're gonna say it. So I'm gonna find out.
I'm not gonna say it. Nobody knows.
But you're gonna.
If you know my age, commented on this video when we post it. But I'm not telling you. Nobody knows my age, and nobody knows where. They're gonna eventually know where I went to college, but they know.
What year did you go to college?
You know, in the 2000s.
2000 what?
2000s.
In the 2000s or 2010s?
I was in both. I'm still in school right now, so nobody knows my age, right? I'm still in school right now. I'm an enigma, man. I'm Bryson Tiller with the hat on. Nobody knows if I'm happy, if I'm sad, if I'm with a girl, if I'm broke up. Nobody knows. Like, I'm an enigma.
The only difference is I can see your face. I can't see Bryson Tiller's face.
I'm like her, you feel me, with my information.
No, you're not.
But like, you know what I'm saying?
Shut the hell up. No,
I'm the dude that's at the party. Who's that guy? Oh, that's Cameron. Anybody know anything about him? Maybe not.
Okay, so you're basically like Ghost in Power. You're not like her or Bryson Tiller.
I'm like Ghost in Power.
Okay.
That's it.
There you go.
Nobody knows James St. Patrick's real age.
Exactly.
Boom. There you go.
I got you. All right. So, so you're always in music, but it really just got started for you like right now? Like how long have you been in the music industry?
You're trying to put a number on it. I know. I've been in music for like 10 years. About 10 years, really like building a career. About 10 years, like 8 years of like really like I have a brand. I have my music up on pages, and you know I'm really creating a brand for myself and a career and booking shows. About 8 years, but you know 10 years of actually making songs. First 2 years was I found like 3 old mixtapes that I put out online on Friday yesterday, and I was like, why did I do this?
On
like,
your Instagram?
No, it's just online. It's this old website. The real rapper homies gonna know, datpiff.com.
Oh, yes.
So datpiff used to be the spot for your mixtapes. So I found like 3 mixtapes on datpiff, and I was just like, man, I almost posted on Instagram like, I'm sorry guys for putting this music out. Like, I was just trying to live my best life at the time. Like, I'm listening to it, and I'm like, only God let me keep going in this music career. Because like, if I would have heard myself, I would have been like, bro, take some more time, figure out who you are. Like,
but that's okay though. At least we know where you basically started from the bottom for these mixtapes, but you're not there no more because you changed. So
I keep them up there because one of the things that was hard for me when I first started was I saw everybody that was where I wanted to be, and I didn't have like, it was hard to imagine how I was going to get to their level, right? And so the reason why I leave certain things up online is because I want to motivate people to feel like maybe they're not where they want to be, or as good as they want to be, or as big as they want to be, or they're trying to figure out how to do those harmonies or how to do those background vocals, or like why this person can create these type of records. And it's like knowing that somebody wasn't always that good is inspiring to a lot of people.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, LeBron is who LeBron is now, but LeBron wasn't that when he first came in the league. He was still good, but he wasn't doing what he's doing now. So even he'll tell you that. So being able to see that growth is a big deal. And so some stuff, of course, I'm take down. I'm like, this is bad. Right. But there's some songs right now that like up on Pandora where I'm like, if I could redo that record, it'd be so dope. But like, I leave it up there because I'm like, maybe somebody's gonna fall in love with that rawness.
I was just about to say that maybe there's someone else that may have a different perspective than you.
Exactly.
You know, because I mean, of course, we put more pressure on ourselves and our craft. But then when someone else looks at it, it's like, no, you're actually doing fine.
This is great, and you're just like, nah, man, and they're like, no, this is my favorite. Man, somebody texted me about a song I released or hit me on Facebook about a song I released in 2012. And they were like, I love your voice on this record. And I was like, I remember my brother wrote that song, and he was like, you got to sing it like this. Like, you can't sing it how you normally sing. You got to sing it like this. And I thought I sounded terrible. I was like, this is not my voice, outside of my comfort zone. And like, my first question was like, to the person, because like I went to college with her, so I was like, why are you listening to something from like 2012? Like, I've released like 5 albums since then. We're listening to the last 3. those are for sure bangers. So listen to the last 3. She was like, nah, like it was just on your Spotify, and like I was just like, first off, that song's not on Spotify. You're lying. You just played that song because you like it.
Right.
But I feel differently about it. I mean, I love the song, but I feel differently about it. It's like watching yourself do something in high school, and you're like, we really thought we was doing something.
Yeah.
And we look
really
at that
were,
outfit.
you know?
Look at that outfit.
But it's okay because I'm not that no more.
Exactly.
That's fine.
Keep growing.
So what was some of the music that you grew up listening to?
Man, interestingly enough, my dad only let us have one TV in the whole house, and it was in the TV room, right? So we only had one TV in the whole house, right? It's like so old school, but like he let us have only one TV. And so in the bedrooms, like we just had music, right? So I would listen to I would just listen to music, but I wouldn't have anything else to distract me. I would go in the room, listen to music, and just text people and just listen to music. So a lot of the stuff I listened to growing up, a lot of my, like there's the artist that a lot of people don't know because he never like took off, but his name is Sam Salter. He's a singer-songwriter. He released one major album when he was 18, and it was incredible. Like I love that album. When Justin Timberlake released his first album, that was really big for me. Justified was like a big one. That was a big one for me. Thin Line Between Love and Hate soundtrack is still something I play to this day. Waiting to Exhale, the soundtrack, is actually a banger for me because the whole soundtrack is women, right? But every song is written by Babyface. So that's crazy, right?
I did not
Most
know
people
that.
don't know that, right?
Wow.
So
I learned something
Trey
new.
Songz was actually the reason why I started doing music because I felt like I had a voice that was similar to his. So he really inspired me. But like a lot of the R&B stuff now, my taste now is real different from my taste. But when I started making music, because my goals are different, like what I want to do. But I mean, Tank, Trey Songz, Eric Bellinger, you know, all my all-time favorites are going to be like Toni Braxton, you know, Donny Hathaway. Whitney Houston is like, I believe in some way, shape, or form, I'm related to Whitney. I don't know. But like, for real, I don't know what it is about Whitney Houston's music.
I was not expecting.
In some way, I'm going to find some 23andMe. It's going to be like, Whitney Houston is your 18th cousin on your great-great-great-great-grandfather's side. Because, man, it's something. I was listening to Whitney Houston on Thursday night. And I was like getting teary-eyed, and I don't even know why. Like, I just
maybe it's because you actually felt the song.
I feel like if my mom and Whitney Houston were like around each other, they would be friends. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know them people in your family that's your auntie, but they're not related to you.
Oh yeah.
That's Whitney. Like for me, right? And like, and it wasn't even a sad song. I was listening to How Will I Know, which is super up-tempo, stereotypical 80s, and I'm sitting in the car like, how will I know, man?
I can't with you.
How will I know, bro?
I can't with you.
And I'm just like, and then you know when a slow one come on, now I'm really just sitting there like, God damn it. Like, you know, like, and I just love, like, you know what did it for me, what moved Whitney up from my top 10 to my top 3 was finding out that she wasn't the princess that they painted her to be, right? Like finding out that she struggled with stuff. She was with God. She knew that she was wrong, and she was trying to better herself. And she struggled with certain demons. I feel like in today's society, we celebrate people like that. But at that time, she would have lost it all just by having real human flaws. So to see, when people see like stories about Whitney and they're like, oh yeah, see, she was doing this, but she was on drugs. It's like, how many people you know use drugs? Like, you don't judge them, right? So when I look at Whitney, the fact that she could be who she was and carry all that weight and all that stuff, like, you know, it helps me. So she's one of my all-time favorites. And a lot of the mainstream stuff, the mainstream stars I respect, but I don't really listen to. I listen to people that have like that hunger in their music. That's big for me. So if you're a hungry artist and you're talented and you're stepping a little bit outside of my comfort zone, then I love you. So,
who's your favorite artist today?
Right this minute, dang. If I had to just go overall, pound for pound, I have to say Eric Bellinger, which is weird because he's like around my age.
Okay, well let me look.
You know, he's around my age, but like, so it's like it's like admiring somebody that you actually could like know. But
isn't he like 23 or 24?
Eric Bellinger is definitely not 23.
26?
Definitely not 26.
Okay, well I'm gonna figure it out. Just know that, and I'm gonna put it in there. So just it's okay.
You ain't gonna know.
Or I'm gonna text it to you and be like, hey, I found out your age.
There you go. Just text it to me. There you go. There you go.
So you said you released 5 albums.
I've actually released like 12.
12?
But I'm only like, my albums are like kids. Like I put them out, but I'm only claiming like 3 of them.
Okay.
You feel me? Like 4 of them. You feel me? The other ones they might be mine.
So what are the other ones that you claimed?
The ones that, I mean, because I always joke with my friends, like the first album I put out where I didn't suck was like, what album was that? Whatever album I put out before Michael in 79, I can't remember what it was called, but the last 3 albums that I put out, whatever one before Michael in 79, then Michael in 79, then Valley High, those 3 albums I can listen to, and I'm like, oh, LaFace era. LaFace era, Michael in 79, and Valley High, those 3 albums, if I listen to them, like I can critique them, but I feel like these albums are like, they represent me. You know, even though I've grown since then, they represent me. Like I was in the studio playing with the toys that I figured out how to use instead of like, oh wow, I wish I would have known this. Like I'm actually knowing it. So has some good features on there, good producers.
Who are the features on the
Shoot, man, on 3 out. I mean, T. Carrier, that's my brother right there.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, so he was a big influence on a lot of records during that time and even now today. My actual brother, Caleb, collaborate. He worked with me on some stuff on those albums. Who else? My friend Haji, she's worked on some stuff. Illa, Ari Illa, she's worked with me on some stuff. And there was this producer from Taiwan named Insoul, and like seriously, fully Taiwanese. Is that how you say it?
Yeah.
Like everything I found him on social media, everything is in not English, all that. But his beats were incredible.
I gotta hear
R&B, soul, like everything, and like I'm like, this dude is incredible. And like I try to find him online, and he's super like just in Taiwan. Doesn't look like he makes R&B soul music, and like I'm playing these beats, and I have a song on LaFace era called Pride, and he produced it, and it's just so crazy. It's like R&B meets HBK Gang meets 90s soul meets trap, and he just put it all together and sent me the beat, and I'm like,
you convinced me. I want to hear it now.
It's a banger. We'll play it when we're done. It's crazy. It was one of my first songs that like broke through, that people were like, oh, that's the song you made. Wow. So, you know, and it was like one of my first songs that went crazy online on Pandora and all that stuff. So it was a big deal. And like we shot a video for it, shot it with Adrian Purr. Shout out to Adrian Purr. And it was just big time. It was like, this dude is like never been to America.
Yeah.
He just makes music based on what he feels like American culture is. Oh, so that's like crazy to think like he's making like, this is what you guys listen to and I can make it. And I just made so many songs with him. Like he just, boom, I bought like 9 beats from him and made a whole album.
Oh, wow.
It was crazy.
Damn.
So,
you know, the way you describe that, how he makes music like how American people make it, kind of sounds like British people or London people. Like a lot of beats that they use, like a lot of trap beats, it's similar, but it's not. It's in their own way.
Exactly.
In a way.
Exactly.
So,
and overseas, they love R&B way more than they love it in America. You know, like in Europe and especially in Asia. Like when I look at my analytics online, a lot of my streams are like Japan, Korea, China, and like Germany and France. Like big, like 60% of my streams are over there, and then like the rest are in America. Like and I'm talking about for like those real R&B type songs. It's crazy. So, you know, like there's artists over here who go over to Europe, like Maya. Maya go over to China and Japan and sell out venues, and come over here and do like, you know, 2,000 people, but do like 14,000 over there.
Damn.
So it's crazy.
That's interesting. I never knew that.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy how they look at R&B in other places. So
I miss R&B.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, we're trying to keep it alive.
Yeah, you know,
we're trying to CPR that much.
You're the people that are trying to keep it alive. Exactly. So you just released a new song. Well, I don't know if you just released it. I want to say it was a month ago.
The video I just released.
Okay.
Yes.
It was with Casey Cope.
Casey Cope. Yes.
So talk about that. What'd you say?
My bad boy gang brother.
Okay.
We'll get into the bad boy gang.
Okay, because I gotta know about that.
Yes.
So talk about that song, and what did you want the listeners to gain from that song?
Man, that song actually came together because at the beginning of this year I was kind of struggling with a little bit with depression, right? And then coming out into like March and April was kind of where, probably like April was where I was really working on myself spiritually, mentally, just understanding that like you have to get a grasp on what you're telling yourself in your mind. That's really what a lot of depression is. It's your mind. It's constantly feeding you thoughts. And then I got to a point where I was kind of coming out of it, right? And just kind of realizing like there's a lot that you have in looking at things. And when the producer Simon, my boy Simon, sent me that beat, it's just everything in me was just telling me like it's a new day, like we're back. Like this beat made me just feel like I had something to say, because I was making songs, but a lot of people don't realize, like, when artists are going through things, some artists, they make great stuff when they're going through things, but some artists, it's like when you have a bad day, you don't feel like talking. You know what I'm saying? And that's what it is. It's like the songs that I was making were just like mean, or like they were just like nobody could understand them, because it was coming from what I was going through, and everybody else was like, sounds good, but like, what the hell are you saying? You know, I don't know what you're talking about. So when he sent me that song, it was just like, it's a new day. Like, you know, it's people in my life that are really trying to pull me into a good area, a good space. The people that were in my life that were taking me in the wrong direction, I was able to step away from, and all that stuff. So that's what I wanted the song to be about. And then, you know, Casey's just an incredible artist. Like, Casey is like a Prince type of artist, where he's like a real artist, and you're just like, dude, you're just gonna make music. That's what you're gonna do. So Casey, I was like, I gotta get Casey on this song, and we didn't have any songs together. Like, we're all me and him are in the Bad Boy Gang, and we didn't have no songs together. So I was like, we gotta do one, so you have a reason to perform with me when I go and do shows and I tour and stuff. And so came in, he wrote his verse like that and laid it down. I did my part. Simon touched up the beat, and, you know, Simon's playing all the instruments on, you know, he's a traditional instrumentalist or whatever, traditional musician. So when that song came together, it was easy. Like, we just, like, Simon cooked up the beat, boom, sent it to me, went in the studio, laid my verse, Casey laid his verse, Sharon mixed it, and it was just easy. It was ready to go. We went to the lake, shot the video, and if you notice, there's no girls in that video, because we actually was like, let's make a love song video that's R&B soul based, without women in it, without being like, yeah, this is the girl, and we're talking to her,
and she's standing there like,
and all that. Exactly. We're like, can we do it? Can we just talk to the ladies and let them know how we feel, instead of like talking to a girl? And so I was actually like, I don't know, because that might be kind of corny. It's all guys in this video, right? But then I was so I asked like 2 or 3 people to be in the video just for a little bit. And it's usually people that are super available and like that rock with me in my movement. So when they were like, oh, I'm actually out of town that weekend out of all the weekends, but I was like, it's not meant to be. When you force stuff, it doesn't come out right. So we put the video together at Lake Merritt. It was like a beautiful day.
It looked like a beautiful day.
It was just great. Like, it just came. We did it in one take video. And it's like, one take videos are crazy because they're done super fast. You know, one take, and we just walked through, did the take, Casey did his, I came back around, we did my part, and then, all right, bye guys, see you later.
No shit, I was watching Narcos earlier, and I was just talking about, because they had a one-shot scene, it was in season 3, and I was just like, man, I love one-shots, because they just go all the way, and then they stop, and that's it.
Crazy.
That's
it's
when
crazy.
You said that Gemini thing, you know?
It's perfect. One-take videos, I love them. And then being able to sprinkle in little creative stuff. But
exactly.
You know, but Nad'e was great, man. California Steez magazine, based out of Sacramento, actually, premiered it. And it was just, so it was just it just felt good. Like, it was really like it was the point where I kind of felt like I got back to me. And like, you know, and life isn't perfect, but just finding, because this year was all about kind of establishing like who I am internally, not like what people see me as. And just when you ask yourself, when you go through tough situations, what I've been told by somebody much wiser than me is that when you go through a tough situation, the situation stands in front of you and it asks you who you are. Like, it looks you in your face and it says, who are you? Like, you say you're this, or you say you're an understanding person or a smart person or a strong person, and it asks you who you are, and you have to respond. Like, you have to respond. Some people say they're strong, but boom, they just act strong. So when they go through something, they fall all the way down. Or some people say they're forgiving and understanding. They go through a tough situation and they turn into this ugly monster. It's like, you're not really that, but the situation makes you answer who you are. And so I feel like when I did this song, that's what I was responding to. It's like, who are you? Where are you? What are you going to do when things really make you feel low? And this song was kind of the beginning of like, when you get off the couch and you're like, you know what? We're not going to sit here all day. And that's what it was. So that's
it was like a responsive type of thing for you. Like,
exactly.
you're responding to what you're going through in that moment in the song, basically.
Exactly.
So did you get a lot of feedback from that song?
Yeah, people say like the energy, the vibe of that song is great. They love the vibe of that song. And that's where my heart is right now with music. Like, I love 90s super soul R&B, but like right now I'm kind of like in this like neo soul, like vibe space, like, you know, kind of like 2018 D'Angelo type vibes. And that's where I'm at. And it's like, you know, we're going to go to the studio, listen to one of the songs that my guy's working on, and you're going to see what I mean. It's just, I'm just like, make it funky, make it soulful, give me something to like boom, clap to like lay up. And it's not slow, it's not fast, it's just right in a groove. You know what I'm saying? And that's where I'm at right now. So, you know, I'm like 2 songs away from finishing the album because I need like 2 really like smooth, wonderful joints.
Yeah.
And like I got 1, and I need another beat from my guy Simon. So Simon, send me that beat because you've been talking about it for a minute. Every time you see this, even if you already sent me the beat, send me another one.
Send him another one.
Love you, bro.
Love you too.
But yeah, so Simon's incredible, man. Like I can't wait to get in the studio and just work with Simon for like 12 hours straight. We can make like a whole album. But
isn't that the best part though? Because that shows that you are passionate about what you do, and it's just like you can just stay there and work on it for a week and be fine and be satisfied. We do me and my team, we do like lock-in sessions, and that means like we go in the studio for a minimum of 12 hours and we lock the doors and we just go in there and we're just inside all day just making music. And people are like, how can you be in the studio that long? And honestly, like, it's one of the few things that's like better than sex, better than like love, romance. It's like when you come into the studio and something doesn't exist and you leave and it does exist, it's like having a kid. It's like this song could last for 100 years and you just created it in this moment with these people. And it's like bonding, man. It's like winning a championship with somebody. It's like you might not ever hang out with that person again, but you have that moment that you created that thing. Right. So, you know, that's what, you know, good endorphins are everything. People spend their whole life trying to manufacture good feelings, right? So when you do stuff like make music, film something, act or help other people, like those are good endorphins. Those are real that you don't have to feel guilty for. Right. So, you know, that's what I love. That's what got me really like addicted and committed to music. Is just creating and feeling that good energy from it. Right. And not trying to force it.
At all. Well, I did force it for a while. Me and my boy Terrence T. Carrier, we had some conversations about forcing music. Because when you go into hit mode, and hit mode is dangerous for artists, man. When you go into hit mode, that means you're trying to make a hit. Right. And when you try to make a hit, you usually miss.
Like, you know what? I can kind of see that in some artists today when they would release a single, and I'm like, damn, you're really trying too much. Like, just stop.
You're trying to make what you think is going to get you 100 million streams on Spotify.
And you can
tell.
And
it's just, you could tell. You lose that hunger. You let somebody tell you, or they come out dressed in a certain way, or and you're just like, that's not even you. Like, you know, so, you know, when you go into hit mode, or when you're trying to make a song, like I've made songs where I'm like, I'm just going to record this. It's probably not going to go on my album. By the time I finish it, I'm like, yo, this is the one. This is a song. And then I go in the studio and I'm like, ooh, this is going to be on my album. This is a banger. And I'm like, when I finish it, I'm like, it's good, but it don't move me. It don't make me want to play it again. And it's like, that's the hard part. Like replays,
they mean
you know
something.
They mean something. And it's like, when you make a song that's good, that's cool. But it gotta hit you something.
Yeah, it has to drive. You know what? I was thinking about artists that do force trying to make it hit, or throwback artists, you know? Yeah. Like, for example, I'm sorry, but Usher. I love Usher and everything, but I remember, you guys remember the house techno era?
House techno Usher?
Yes.
That's when he was trying to get his international money.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
I was like, dude, like, this isn't Confessions.
Yeah,
like, stop.
He was trying to go from like 12,000 sold out to like 18,000 sold out. So he was like dancing to the like strobe lights, and
it's like, we know we can dance, but it's just like, this isn't you. Like, you're just trying to jump into this generation of music and trying to get popular again, and you know. But it's fine. It's okay.
Shout out to Usher, man.
Yeah.
Shout out to Usher's hairline, because it's not aging. Well, he's aging. Usher's hairline is 17.
Really isn't.
Like, that's it. So there you go.
So you said that you're almost done with your album right now?
Yes.
So I was about to ask you, are you working on anything, and when is the release date that you have?
So hopefully March. Okay. For the album, it's called Somerset. It's kind of the culmination of everything that I've been through this year, good and bad and otherwise, and the people I've met and all of that. There is a park in Berkeley called John Hinkey Park, right? I think it's Hinky or Hinkle, something like that. It's on Somerset Plaza, and it's like Berkeley Hills area. And the crazy thing about like why I named the album Somerset is because that's the street that the park is on. And if you go to this park, it's so crazy because it's in a super nice neighborhood, right? Super nice, like multi-million-dollar homes. But so when you go there, you'll see like older people walking their little doggies and doing that, and like, you know, couples walking through because it's really nice. It's all that type of stuff. And then you'll see like a whole bunch of like teenage kids buying drugs right there. Then like, it's just like random, right? Like it's just, but it's everything all together. Nice neighborhood. You feel like you're super safe. Then you got like 6 kids over here like selling drugs, and then like this little couple over here walking around. Then a 60-year-old woman walking her little Yorkie. It's like all this is going on, and that's life. You know what I'm saying? Like we got vegan cookies and Hennessy. That's what I'm talking about. Like that's life. So I named it Somerset because like I talk about a lot of life in this album, and it's like, you know, there's New Day, there's love songs, there's, you know, songs where I'm talking about really painful stuff. There's songs where I'm talking about like, you know, I got a song on there that I'm doing with me, my cousin, who's her rap name is Stony, and then you know. Yeah, Stony, she's incredible. Shout out my cousin Stony. And then Beegis. And Beegis is dope. Beegis is dope as fuck. Mop. He always says that every show I go, he goes, Mop. But like the song is called Is That Right? And it's really about like your ex, when your ex tries to tell you like, nah, it's different now. Like I know I did you hella wrong, and I know I was this and this and this, but if we try again, everything will be different. Everything will be better. And then like you kind of just get to that point where you're like, oh, for real? Like it's gonna be different this time? Like, oh, for real? You're not texting that same person you was texting before? Right? And then exactly, is that right? Like, cause you know they still lying. Like you know they literally was just out with that person the day before, and they're like, nah, just trust me. Just trust me. Trust me, baby. I got you, baby. And you're just like, oh, is that right? That's what you're saying? Okay. You know what I'm saying? Like that's so, you know, you got all of those songs, you got love songs, and you got, you know, whatever, all that. So it's just beautiful, man. Like it's an album I'm really proud of, and the production is next level, and you know, we just try to grow with every project. And so, you know,
I'm excited. The way you described it, I'm like, I can't wait.
Yeah, you definitely gonna have some ones you could be like, oh, we adding that to the playlist. Like, and then next time he texts me, I'm gonna just send him that link. Go ahead. He gonna be like, he's just gonna respond back with question marks, and you're gonna be like, play it.
All I gotta say is, am I gonna have a pregame music?
Oh, for sure. Okay, so here's what we're gonna do
for the ladies.
Here's what we're gonna do,
because we need our playlist to, you know, get ready and everything. So are we gonna have one of those on this album?
So I'm releasing 2 albums next year. One is gonna be like DJ Khaled style, like my DJ Francois. This is the goal, at least. Hopefully, I'm a prophet when this come out and everybody sees that it comes out that way. Like, there's songs that I make, cause like deep down, I'm a little ratchet, cause I'm from like a ratchet neighborhood. So like I'm ratchet, and like I always get jealous of my rapper friends that can do these ratchet songs, and everybody goes crazy at their shows and stuff. So I was like, man, I made all these ratchet songs. They're not ratchet, but like they're definitely like Instagram video girls like rapping aggressive lyrics type thing. And then people are going to hear that from me and be like, that's not what you do. You're a singer, right?
They'd be like, you're soft.
Right? And so I was like, I told my DJ, I'm like, what are we going to do with these records? He was like, well, I can just release some DJ Khaled style because I'm in the clubs playing these records all the time. So he was like, it's just going to be me featuring you and the other people on the song, right? So I was like, cool. And I was like, well, why don't you just release a whole compilation with all of us doing ratchet songs? So he's going to do that next year. And then you're definitely going to have some like...
Can you let me know when that... Well, I mean,
you're going to have some Henny records. You're going to have some wine records from me next year.
I need a wine record, exactly.
You're definitely going to have some smoking records from me next year. You're going to have some... I'm at work, and my coworkers is getting on my nerves. I'm going to my car. Coworkers. Everything, you know.
So it's going to be for... Okay, so a man's perspective, it's going to be like a seat at the nightstand.
Yes.
Type of thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's gonna go crazy. 2019, we already plotting on 2019. People always say if you're not plotting on 2019 at the end of the year, then you not where you supposed to be. I've been plotting on 2019 since 2017.
Oh.
So, you know.
Damn, okay.
You know,
so,
pinky out.
You're stupid.
You gonna make me choke. Go,
Sorry. Okay. So, on your Instagram, I saw your post when, first of all,
what I put up?
Your location, you said your location said in my feelings.
Yes, that post. I was actually in West Hollywood when I posted that.
Okay.
But I was in my feelings.
Okay.
I'm always in my feelings.
Yeah. Okay, that's what I talk about. So from a man's perspective, you know, there are some men out there that really can't get into that vulnerable state.
Right. So
expand on that, because it seems like you're very open about emotions and all of that.
That's because I always live in my feelings. Like, you know,
Gemini.
I'm a Gemini, and like people be like, man, you always in your feelings. I'm like, they mine. Who else feelings I'm supposed to be in? Like, I'm always in my feelings.
Hey.
But, you know, I feel like society tells us from a young age as men that we're not supposed to be emotional. Like, you know, man up is a term for a reason, right? And then, you know, my dad made a good point. My dad was like, don't ever cry in front of a girl. And I was like, but you know, some girls be like, I like when a man shares his feelings. If he is going through something and he cries, they be like, ooh, that is so sexy, blah, blah, blah. And my dad was like, no, don't never cry in front of a girl, period. And I was like, why? He was like, because here's what's going to happen. You're going to be having a conversation one day, and it's going to get real serious, and she's going to be doing something that you don't want her to do, and you're going to be like, I don't want you to do that. And then she's going to be like, oh, you trying to tell me what to do? Is this the same nigga that was crying last week in my arms? And he was like, you ain't going to be able to say shit, because you're going to be crying like a little bitch, right? And so while I understand what he's saying, the whole society just doesn't make it comfortable for us to cry all the time.
Yeah.
Right? So
because there's a lot of masculinity going on.
Exactly. And as much as we make it seem like there's no gender roles, there's no that, you'd be surprised. I will have conversations with people, now men and women, that will be like, a man should be able to share his emotions and a man should be able to cry and blah, blah, blah. And then 5 minutes later, we'll see somebody doing something and it'll be a man and they'll get emotional and they'll be like, man, he acting like a little bitch. And you'll be like, you just said it's okay for people to cry. I'm like, what is going on? That's why he ain't trying to cry. Like,
you know
it's
what?
so much.
I believe that, like, sometimes we do live in, like, a hypocritical ass society, because people do say that, especially on Twitter. Like, they champion when it comes to men expressing their emotions, but when they do see a man crying, they are like, oh, he acting gay.
Yeah, I broke up with him because he was crying. Yeah. You be like, well, you just said on Twitter yesterday that you like a man that shares his feelings. I'd be so confused. But for me, this is what I feel like. I feel like if you are a man, and a lot of people equate being a man to being macho. Being macho doesn't make you a man. It just makes you insecure because you're overcompensating. If you're a man, you could cry. If somebody say you're acting like a bitch, then you say, I'm sorry you feel that way. I feel like I'm comfortable sharing my feelings about something. Whether I'm mad, angry, sad, hurt, whatever, I will tell you how I feel about it. If something happens that makes me... Now, there are times to cry. And as a mature man, you need to know that. If you're getting kicked out of your house, that's not the time to cry when you find out.
Well, I mean, if he wants to cry, he wants to cry.
He wants to cry, but like, you still need to do something. Like, you know, but it's not bad to cry. It's just, you don't cry and not do anything. That's not being a man. Whatever. Exactly. But, you know, being a man is being responsible, being open about your feelings, being, you know, and, you know, I don't want to get into the whole society, whatever, but there's not a lot of men teaching young men how to be men. So what happens is you get people that are overcompensating for their feelings because they feel like this is how I'm supposed to act, not this is how I feel inside. So for me, it don't matter to me. Like, I don't have a problem saying I got misty-eyed listening to Whitney Houston. Like, damn, her voice was incredible. Like, and she passed away very tragically. It's not wrong to feel bad about that. Now, am I going to be in a meeting crying about that? No. But, you know, appropriately, I will share my feelings, and that's how I am. And that honestly is what changed my music. That changed me musically. When I my album that I released, when I got signed, my first album after I got signed was called LaFace Era, right? And it was a tribute to the LaFace, Babyface movement of music, right? And, you know, what I found out was making music to try to impress and get girls and stuff in R&B is cool, but not being able to share your feelings in R&B is like you're missing the key ingredient. Right? So I looked at Babyface and I'm like, Babyface would literally make the most simp, emotional, emo song ever. Yeah. It go number one. Yeah. Because he's being honest about how he feels. And even if he's not being honest, he's still showing some feeling. Exactly. Right? And so I literally started this thing when I would record called the Babyface Challenge. And I would be like, how emotional can I get on this record? Can I really tell this girl that, like, you are the only one and I don't want anybody else and I will not make it without you, and mean it? And can you record that? And not try to be cool and be like, you the only one, but I'm out here. But nah, like, say it all the way. Like, Jodeci, that song Cry For You, like, people make jokes. They be like, the beginning of that song says, it's been an hour since you've been gone and that's too long, so come back home. It's like, dude, it's been an hour. That's real. It's an hour, bro. Like, that's a TV show. And you brokenhearted already. Like, yes, you know what I'm saying? So now you hear my music and it'll just really say how I feel. You know, like, that's just how I feel. And it's not just men, it's just men and women. Like, and we're in a culture now where it's like, I love you, but like I ain't telling nobody. Like, and it's like, nah. It's like if I look, like you be surprised. You look at somebody and be like, oh, you look like you like them. You be like, yeah, and they be like, oh, so you like them? Yes. Like what? Like we robots now? Yeah, we robots now. Like that don't mean I'm finna give them my car keys and my whole paycheck, but like yes, like I'm interested in them. That's it.
You know what? I can say that like we are afraid when it comes to expressing ourselves, especially today. Like it wasn't a problem before, but you know, I gotta go with the whole technology type of thing. When that came in, it was just like we had to block what's going on inside and just putting on our phones. And everything.
Yes, and people don't want to just be like, I got played. People be like, nah, like you ain't. If you played me, you played yourself. No. Nah, you got hurt. You was crying for like a week. I was sad last week.
And you're still crying right now.
Yeah. Exactly. Like I took an L and like I'm about to come back. Like that's the thing. It's like that's what it is.
About to come back.
Yeah, and it's just like I was talking to my mom about that this week. Like nobody wants to feel anything. That's why R&B to me is not where it used to be.
Yeah.
Because nobody wants to feel anything. Everybody wants to feel. Everybody has the ability to feel what they want when they want. Like it's like, you know, and that's just a culture that we're developing. It's like I don't want to feel sad, so I'm gonna just do whatever I gotta do to not feel sad. But the thing that people don't realize is that feeling sad makes you stronger. Like it makes you more. It helps you understand how you feel and grow in your feelings.
Say that louder.
You know what I'm saying? Feeling sad, going through a heartbreak, losing a job, losing a boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever. It makes you a stronger version of yourself. Here's the thing that somebody told me that was super deep, and I was like sitting there like, man, you are like, how do I even know you? You're too smart. But they were like, when you go through things and you numb yourself through those things, you actually don't grow emotionally and mentally. So you could be 28 and you had 3 breakups and you lost 2 jobs and you went through this and whatever, but because you numbed yourself through all those years, you might only have the emotional maturity of a 20-year-old because you stopped at 20 feeling things. And I was like, and they asked me, they were like, how many people you know, they're almost 30, but they process emotions and feelings and
like they're 12 years old.
Like they're 12. And then it's like, and I was like, I know a lot. And it was like, now how many of those people you know chemically, behavior-wise, whatever, they numb themselves when something happens. They don't push through it. And I was like, damn, that's true. And he was like, a lot of those people, you're trying to get them to be on your level, but they stopped growing emotionally at like 2021. They were just like, nope, I'm just going to numb my whole everything. And I'm going to get through it until I don't feel it no more. And so it's just different. Like, so we're in this age where I'm trying to sing to people about being really, really in love with somebody or having a huge interest in somebody, and that person won't even admit to themselves that they like somebody.
See, and that's the type of person I don't want to be with.
Of course, and you should not, man. Ladies, be with somebody who will look you in your face, tell you they like you. Okay, first, but wait, let me. Not that will just tell you, but will actually show you.
Act it, exactly.
They like you. Listen, I know dudes that have driven 2 hours to take a girl out on a date. So when a girl tells me that they don't know if a guy is interested or not, you don't have to guess.
I mean, we know if a man is interested.
A guy will send you an unsolicited dick pic.
He'll show you.
Guys don't take breaks when they interested. When they want to get your attention. I told my friend this one time. I'm like, look, you want to know if a guy's interested in you? It's dudes I know right now that will call in sick from work to pull up at your job and be like, hey, what time you get off? 5? Man. Well, guess what? You sick right now. You ain't going back inside. We going to do this. That's interest. And girls, well, I don't know if he interested. You know.
That's not like, that's love.
That's not even love. That's like, that's how you court somebody. If you really want a girl and you feel like she worth it, you like, man, I'm leaving work at 2 today, partner, because it's going to take me an hour to drive across the bay to get to her job. She off at 4. I need to go home, get my hair cut snazzy, and then pull up. You know what I'm saying? Like, dudes, like, I don't know if a dude's interested. Someone, not even a dude, anybody. You know if a girl interested, like, and yes, we hide it because we don't want to just be all cards on the table. But
and I don't know why, because we need it. Like, if you like us, and because I'm sure we're talking about it to our girlfriends, like, hey, like, I don't know because I like him too. It's like ladies, we want to know.
There girls be like, I don't know because like he did call me, but then on Tuesday he didn't talk to me all day, and then Wednesday he texted me at like 9 at night. So I'm like, if I was to like somebody, you for sure would not be hearing from me for 2 whole days. I'd be like, what you doing? Now, if you didn't text back, I wouldn't just keep texting you. But you for sure would see me texting you. So it's like, I'll be like, man, you know. And if he do like you, he doing hella other shit. That's why he ain't texting you all day on Tuesday. I just gave you some free game. There you go.
Right, you know.
There you go. Keep it moving that way. Don't look at him. Keep it moving that way. Anyway.
So speaking of girls, you've had a lot of heartbreaks.
Oh yeah, R&B. Yes, I have. Yes, yes.
So, how many songs have you written for women that break in your heart?
A lot.
A lot.
I'm gonna tell you right now. That's the thing about dating an artist. You're gonna have a song made about. So, my motto or my thing to any person that dates an artist is try to be the person that artist will make songs for, but won't make songs about. I could go through an album and be like, yep, that was about that person. That was about the person in college. That was about the person when I was 16. That was about, you know. So, because even if you don't date that person again, it's like you might write a song about somebody that you was super, super, super with from 17 to 19, and then you break up, and then 7 years later, you get a DM like, so how you been? Right? You know what I'm saying? And you be like, good. Because I ain't with your ass.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And then they be like, I just want to let you know that I felt this way the whole time and I just never blah, blah.
Man,
and then, boom, there's a song.
Those.
There's a song right there.
Oh,
you know what
God.
I'm saying?
But I hate those. I'm just like, you could have just told me that when you broke up with me.
Boom.
Like,
there's a song. That's why it's like, you ain't never going to run out of stuff. Ever.
I'm not even the same person that you broke up with then.
Exactly.
So,
exactly.
I fucking hate that.
I'll be like, you know what? Thank you for letting me go. Because now
real.
I'm winning.
Without you.
And without you. And
Yeah.
sometimes they're winning too, but you be like, look, I wouldn't have been winning like I'm winning if I was with you because together we didn't win. That's why
we're not really here compatibly,
Exactly.
you know?
Exactly.
So, I watched your IG story and your Instagram
Right.
on how to get women.
Yes.
And, you know, you mentioned that there's a secret and everything, but it's not really a secret because it's easy. It should be, you know, easy how to get women. So, provide this advice for some of the men out there that don't know how to get women.
Right. So for most of the men that I see, so in my Thundercat days, and that was when I was like, you know, out in the streets doing my thing. What I would notice is most of the issues that women would have with men is like basic stuff. Like they don't know how to talk. Like a woman asks men, so how are you? Or how do you feel about this or this or that? And the man don't have nothing to say. It's like, that's literally the basis of communication. It's like somebody says, this is how I feel about this. And this is, and then like when you get credit for things that you feel like are just basic human behaviors, to me, it's like shocking that, you know, like girls will be like, oh yeah, like most of the dudes I date, like they don't really work. Like they have like kind of like occupations, but they don't have like jobs. They don't really work. Like they're usually free at like 2:00 in the afternoon. I'm like,
what?
And then they be like, oh, but you have a job. I'm like, yeah, like we're grown-ups.
I gotta make a living.
We gotta make a living. Like, what do you do for 8-9 hours a day? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, people work. First off, no matter how much you love weed, if you're getting to know a guy sitting in front of your own house in a vehicle smoking weed is not a first date.
Thank you.
You might say it is, and for everybody's saying, but for me it is. That's why you keep meeting dudes like that. Listen. It is not too much for him to at least take you to a nice area to smoke the same weed. You sitting in his Oldsmobile Cutlass smoking weed for 45 minutes. And that's not a date. That's what I'm saying. So in that rant that I was going on, it's like, that's what I'm saying. You want a girl to smoke with you? That's fine. You don't have much money, but you got some weed and you got a car. Take her to a view spot up somewhere and look at the whole Bay Area while you do it. Go outside somewhere. Buy a milkshake because you know she likes milkshakes. That's $4, bro. And then go. It's like, that's what I'm saying. It's like there's literally this minimal amount of effort that goes into just kind of talking to somebody and getting to know them that a lot of people just don't put in.
Right.
And my sister was like, because my sister stopped talking to the dude because she was like, all he wanted to do was just like not even try to get to know me. Like he was just like, yeah, you should be happy I'm pulling, like whatever. And she was like, are dudes out here really moving like that? And I'm like, sis, it's dudes out here doing less than that and getting more. It's dudes out there that won't even leave their house and will tell the girl to drive to them, smoke them out, and just buy a Subway sandwich for the girl, and they smashing. Like, that's it. Like, and I'm like, I'm not saying that's bad, but I'm saying you got to grow past that. Like, we're not 19, we're not 17. If you want to meet somebody, you ain't got to take them out to Ruth Chris or you know, Bryhanna's or nothing like that. But like, You know, and in dudes, this is the answer that I usually get from dudes. Well, you know, I met shorty, she was kind of off the wall, so I ain't trying to put in that effort. Like, I ain't trying to, you know, she was already doing the most wild stuff when I met her. Okay, that's cool. I respect that. I've been there before. But this is what you got to ask yourself. If you're putting in trash behavior over and over again to all these people,
you're going to get that.
Then your outcomes are going to be garbage.
Yeah.
If your behavior is trash, all you're going to meet is garbage people. Like, so you got to say to yourself, like, okay, why are you even talking to somebody, male or female, if you're a male or female, that you don't feel is worth your effort? You should be like, okay, this person is worth at least going to dinner with, at least going to a coffee shop with. When you start to get to that level, then you're not doing this bottom stuff where you feel like you're being taken for granted, or you're doing, because that's usually when we take L's. When we go below what our worth and what our necessities are, because there's people that don't see us as queens and kings, and they just see us as like, I'm just gonna pull up on you, you know, we're gonna go around the corner to this little park. Yeah. It's like, we ain't 15. I'm not going to the park with you. Like, what are you talking about? But when you say yes to that, because you just want to spend time with that person, you kind of compromise yourself, because now they're gonna be like, you a car smoking weed at the park ass female or man, and that's it. That's all I'm gonna give you. And
that's not what we want to be. We need stimulation.
Exactly.
You know, and like stuff like that is cool. Like for me, like I like to have my chill moments, but I also like to be adventurous. You know, like I like to a walk in the park, you know, or like a picnic or bowling or just something, you know, like, because then that would really determine the type of personality you have and just how we are together, you know, like we can build that type of energy while we're out doing stuff.
And the walk in the park is free, by the way, guys. It's free. Like, you literally just drive to a nice park, not any park, not in the hood, because
Lake Merritt is nice.
Go to Lake Merritt and just walk around the lake. Walking around the lake takes like an hour. So walk around the lake, stop at the little quarter-pound burger spot, get a burger or just get some fries.
Or the taco truck.
If she's vegan, go get some vegetarian tacos or you know, whatever, and you be good. But it's not that hard. And like I said, if you ain't got the money or the resources to do it, then you shouldn't be dating right now.
I mean, like, and that's okay if they don't have it. Just like you said, don't try to do too much to do stuff if you don't have the money.
Exactly.
You know?
Exactly.
That's all.
You got to build with somebody, but what I say, my message is for men and women is just, you know, you got to put a value on yourself. Because if you don't, then nobody will value you. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, you got to look at yourself like a trip to Fiji. Everybody can't afford to take it. And it's not just about the money, but like, you got to work to earn a trip to Fiji. Like, you got to save your money up. You got to plan your stuff. If you're just a flight to LA, 45 minutes Southwest, $50 flight, anybody could do that. Like, you know what I'm saying? So
I'm mad that you're comparing, you know, flights.
That's how I look at myself.
That's
as
a good
like,
perspective, though.
You know, like I look at myself like I have to decide the level of respect. Like, I have to protect my energy, right? So if somebody brings something to me that's trash and it's just bringing my energy down, bringing my life level down, they're gonna keep doing it until I say, that's not how I'm riding with myself. And once I do that, they might test me again or a couple of times, but once that boundary is established, then you're loving yourself at a higher level, which is going to make other people have to love you at a higher level. Right. So that's what that whole story was about. And it's just like, you know, like, just, you know, come on, fellas. Let's like,
I mean, some of y'all got to do better.
Let's do better. Let's read some books. You know what I'm saying? Let's watch more on TV than NBA TV. Like, let's watch, just watch House Hunters for like an hour. So when she talks about a backsplash in the kitchen, you know what that is. Like, that's how that works, bro. Like, because you might have a backsplash one day. So like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's not that hard. This is easy stuff. You don't even have to get off your couch to watch House Hunters. Like, you know, just don't watch Power all day. Like, Power, House Hunters, then, you know, Say Yes to the Dress. That's, you know, you see what they like. Just you know what I'm saying? Understand who you are. Yes. Touch your emotions, bro.
And learn about women.
Learn about women. That's okay. You know who's not going to teach you about women? Lil Uzi. He's great, but maybe you listen to, you know, some other stuff a little bit. You know, listen to some jazz. Try that out for 45 minutes just to see how you feel. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Guarantee you'll love yourself more in the end. Trust me.
Preach. My
you know?
Gemini King. All right. So we're going to play a game.
Oh, snickerdoodles.
So, since Thanksgiving is next week.
Oh, it is.
We're going to play One Gotta Go.
Oh,
all right.
I like that.
So we're going to start with the course of the meals, right?
Bring it on.
We have yams,
Right.
mac and cheese, greens,
Right.
cornbread. One gotta go.
Mac and cheese. I hate pasta.
What?
That was easy.
What?
That was easy. I don't like
What do you
pasta.
mean that was easy?
Mac and cheese is the only pasta that I'll eat, but that's only if it's really cooked like my mom good style. So it's easy for me to let go of mac and cheese. Mac and cheese gotta go. Bop, you're out. Yams for sure staying.
Oh,
Especially
yeah.
candy yams, they staying.
Yeah.
Greens, put some hot sauce on them. They for
Right.
sure staying. Cornbread on Thanksgiving, put butter all over the top
Yes,
of it.
that's what I do too.
Eating all of that. So macaroni and cheese, you're out, bro.
I mean, this was even a hard one because I like all four.
Nope,
you know,
macaroni and cheese gotta
but mac and cheese.
Mac and cheese is out.
Even if it's like in the oven baked and the cheese is like
Then it's
a little
tempting.
brown, but it's not.
It's tempting, but if I had to let it go, it's gone. If I had to pick between the other three, you're out, mac and cheese. Sorry. I didn't even.
I was expecting like greens to be out.
If all
honestly.
four of those are out in the club and the bouncer is like, look, man, you're going to let 3 of these people in your VIP section, mac and cheese is for sure not going that night. Mac and cheese is that person that you didn't even really want to go that night anyway, but you just let them come because they're friends with greens, and you're just like, well,
Shut
guess
the hell
what?
up.
Greens, look, hey, man.
Shut the hell up.
Tell your boy he got to go back to Oakland because he ain't getting in my section tonight. That's mac and cheese. There you go.
Wow, don't
That's
do mac
it.
and cheese like that.
Easy.
All right.
Easy.
You know, I was gonna say I liked you, but I don't know about now.
Now you question my whole
Because
everything.
I can't believe you did mac and cheese like
Mac and
that.
cheese
All
is
right.
out. Been out.
Oh, fuck.
Mac and cheese been out.
All right. So we're gonna come to an end. So
Yes.
this year is about to be like over, like now, basically.
Yeah. We got like 6 weeks left, man.
Yeah.
It's over.
Ew. Okay.
Yeah.
So what is something that you want to manifest in 2019?
Man, everything, definitely God's will. That's the big thing for me. Operating in God's will is the only will that's perfect. So I don't want to make it about what I want. I want to make it about what I'm supposed to have. I definitely want to tour again in 2019. I want to go on a longer tour. I went on like a month and a half tour this year. I want to tour longer in 2019. I want to finish my doctorate because I'm supposed to finish it in 2019. So I'm trying to finish that. So I'm manifesting that. And I want to have a high profile rollout for this next album. I want a few singles or at least one from this album to really just be a signature song for me and be the beginning of some signature songs for me. And you know, I just want to manifest being able to create for a living. That my goal is not to make music for a living or to write songs for a living or whatever. My goal is to be able to be a creative for a living, whatever that means, whether it's music, film, TV, media, giving other people a voice, whatever. That's what I want to do for a living. So getting closer to that in 2019, if I could do that, that's incredible. That's what I want.
Okay.
So,
Well, let the people know where they can follow you and where they can listen to your music and watch your Instagram stories because you've been saying a lot.
man, I be talking.
Yeah.
But we finna stop talking as much. We finna start putting out real, actual videos. Shout out to
Okay.
Comcast. They gave us our own channel.
Hey.
I forget what channel it is, but they gave us an hour, and we're not going to talk too much about that. But I can do a lot with an hour on Comcast. But
Okay.
Cash Campaign, CASHCAMPAIN, no G in the campaign, but I'm still one. Check me out, Instagram, Spotify, all that type of stuff. New music is definitely coming at the beginning of the year, and we're going to ride that Somerset wave all 2019. Shout out to the Bad Boy Gang. Shout out to my family, my brother, everybody that supports me in every single way because there's nobody makes it out here on their own. So shout out to everybody. Shout out to you.
Thank
Shout
you.
out to you, Queen. Shout out to everybody that supports us.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So
We got to. You
Yes.
know, this is it. This is
Yes.
what's our generation right now.
yes.
What's influencing. So, but thank you for coming and everything. You're hella dope, like I said. You're
to be.
stupid, like I said. And it's funny.
The best compliment I got all day was like, "You're stupid." I was like, "Yes, thank you," because I felt like she meant it. You know
I
what I'm
did
saying?
meant it. You know,
There
I
it is.
do. I
There you
do.
go.
Well, I'm Bryhanna Nad'e, and we're out. We're gonna do our little. Well, you have nothing. In
I
it.
have.
It's okay.
It's okay. I
It's
drink
all
more
right,
than
we'll
you.
do that.
already.
We'll do a little
There you go.
shimmy.
Little shimmy.
All
Little
right.
shoulder.
We're out.
Nobody does it like Bree. So.
Thanks. We're out.
Ooh.